We're going to Platteville for a reenactment.
Now we gotta find our group.
I have to make my pen tips so that I can and dip it in my inkwell.
All right, Aspen's so silly. Good morning.
Hi, I'm smelling flowers. They smell so beautiful.
Yeah, Matt got me some flowers yesterday, which was super sweet. Anyway,
Hi.
where are we headed? Where are we going?
We're going to Platteville for a reenactment.
A reenactment, yeah. So we're gonna take you guys with us and show you some of the sights that we're gonna see today. We are taking a field trip with our homeschool group today. That should be lots of fun today. Anyway, all right, let's head out and see what we can see, huh? Well, we've made it.
Yeah,
Now we gotta find our group. Ooh, ooh. Freak you out?
Because there's no way that I can get out to find. I can't go buy colors or brushes or pens. This has an ink pen and color. So I have to grind my colors and I have to make my pen tips so that I can and dip it in my inkwells.
Just over on the stove itself, it's a very good chance that it will start on fire. So you don't want to do that. Anybody know who made the first candle?
You can watch, but you
It's okay, I don't know either.
And they just fire it and then. Oh, can I take a picture on your phone?
We just lost an English queen, so we gotta praise the French king. But yeah, these guns are very loud. You'll probably go home with ringing ears, and I don't want to hear about that. So that'd be very bad. The ground may shake underneath you. The earth might tilt a few degrees. You never know. We'll see what happens. Just hopefully my guns go off. I've had some of these charges loaded since the last time we were here. How long ago has that been? All of about 3 years. You have questions back there? Doing pretty good.
plug your ears. Both ears.
That, I think he calls it hunka, a hunk of meat. It's whatever you've got, whatever you can get your hands on.
What are those?
This is venison.
Oh.
But again, any kind of meat.
Looks like a beef stick.
Or fish. Jerky, that you got it from us.
Way back in the 10th century, 1,000 years ago, they're called a viol avu, which means wheeled fiddle, and it is a mechanical violin. It was invented probably by monks as a church music instrument back in the Middle Ages. The way it worked then, it used to be twice as big. One guy was down here cranking, the other guy was here lifting pegs because the keyboard hadn't been invented yet. And instead of bowing this violin, you put rosin on this wheel, and you lay the strings down on the wheel, turn the crank, and they all start playing at once. And the melody string here in the middle works off the keyboard. It's fully chromatic. Bottom row of keys is like the white keys on a piano. Top row is like the black keys. I I can play any tune I know on the thing.
If you spin it faster, what happens?
What's that?
If you spin it faster, does it make more noise?
Yeah, it does. You know about these things, don't you? Has a deeper, richer sound for being bigger, having longer strings. And this is an additional feature up here, this little wooden tank. If I start cranking a little bit faster, this kicks in. Tunes from Native American artists who understand the instrument and its sound and get all kinds of good stuff there. So it just plays the keynote of the flute and jumps the octave. And it plays along with the regular flute on this side.
That sharpen the tools. Because Mom and Dad had to work in the field or in the house. And that was one thing that the children could do was sharpen tools. So I've got some basic tools and I've got some ways to sharpen them. And that's what I can talk about. Tools of this type to be invented. The Egyptians, you've heard of them, haven't you? Sharp on one edge. It's got an edge on it that's sharp. The other edge isn't very sharp, is it? I can do that and I won't cut myself. If I do that, I will cut myself. A knife, that's all it is. It's just a piece of metal that's got a sharp edge and a handle, and we call it a knife. And a knife has to be sharp to do us any good, doesn't it? 1,000 grit, and what I have to do is figure out how high, what angle, because this just says, if you can't see it unless under a microscope, you can see an angle there. And all you do is you run it across the stone, saw teeth, and this helps take those off because they're jagged. You can't see them, but it's still, your knife will get sharper or whatever tool you're using. And the final thing I do for sharpening is take a piece of leather or soft material, and this happens to be glued to a piece of wood. It's called a stroke, and I put it on there flat and lift it up just a little bit and run it down across there. And that polishes that up and helps really take those saw teeth off of there. And then you're going to end up with a very sharp, or you'll evaluate it, and if it's sharp as you want, then you go on to something else. One way to find out is you could shave a little hair off your arm. You can hold a piece of paper and cut through it. If it cuts it, it's sharp. Put a tomato out here and just go right across it without touching the tomato. If it cuts through, it'll be sharp.
Mink, ermine, or weasel, coyote, these are all local. Raccoon, otter, red fox, gray fox.
Okay, where am I at? All right, I finally had to put my hair up, and I'm in the house now, so I have a sweater on because it's chilly in the house, but it is warm outside. That was such a fun field trip that we went on. It was so informative, and well, you guys have seen some of the stuff we went to. I don't know when I'm editing how much you're gonna be able to hear because I was further away from a lot of the demonstrators, but I'm gonna try to get it in there to where you can hear some of the stuff, because they were so informative on so many things. Like, it's so interesting to see like how much knowledge some of these people have about these, I don't want to say they're not ancient, but like these techniques that if they were lost, it would be a shame. You know, like we saw the guy that sharpened tools, and then he told the kids about how children were actually in charge of sharpening the tools because it was a job that they could do, that they were capable of doing on their own, which is so funny because nowadays, you know, if you always have to tell kids, oh, be careful, that knife might be sharp, and these kids were in charge of sharpening these knives and these tools and stuff. So that was really interesting to learn. And we learned about skunks, the one guy that had all the furs, and you know, and they talk as if they're in that time period, and like, this is what I do and this is my job. And so that was really, really interesting. And so he was talking about how, you know, the trappers and stuff would take and still do today, will take the scent from the skunk, and then they ship it off, and they make quite a bit of money from doing that because it's used in perfume. So that was really, really interesting. And there was just so many interesting things. What was your favorite there, Aspen? What was your favorite at the field trip today? Are you hiding? What's your favorite camp?
Well, my favorite camp is the popcorn one, because I love that.
Oh, the kettle corn tent?
Yes.
So for learning tents though, what was your favorite?
The one with the instruments that would.
Oh, the gentleman that had all the instruments. He had a hurdy-gurdy, 2 of them.
Hurdy-gurdy.
Yeah, he had a hurdy-gurdy, and he said one he got from the Ukraine, and one came from Poland. So that was really interesting, huh? And he could play so many instruments. Oh, yeah, it was really a fun field trip. What are you doing? Tomorrow is Ireland's birthday, so we're gonna celebrate with her. Huh.
And the new season of Cobra Kai. So
and a new season of Cobra Kai, and my battery's gonna die.
Oh no.
Hi guys.